Welcome to I Love the Patriarchy. I am your host, Kamua Mwega, and today we are going to talk about hate speech. The new tool for controlling the people. Disclaimer, these are personal opinions protected under Article 33 of the Constitution of the Republic of Kenya. If you do not like them, kick rocks, or better yet, hug a cactus. Also, this video may contain copyrighted material, the use of which has not always been specifically authorized by the copyright owner. This material is made available for educational and informational purposes only under the Fair Use Doctrine. Let's dive into it. For those of us who grew up in Kenya in the 70s, 80s, and the 90s, I'm talking about the ancient people, the Methuselahs, we remember President Daniel Toroitich Arap Moi. President Moi had the most elaborate intelligence gathering network which relied on human assets. There were very few things that took place anywhere in the four corners of Kenya that did not reach his ears. He was a no-nonsense, you will do as I say or you will face the consequences kind of guy. His political opposition and detractors were treated to the VIP treatment at the various government-sponsored housing units, at the top of the list being Committee Prison, with frequent visits to Nyayo House Massage Parlor.
In 1992, I won the elections, and I was now handing over or taking over from Moi, and I now look forward to my going to State House.
But they wouldn't let you have it.
But what did he do? He did all sorts of things. I was so unfortunate, so sad.
I was abducted at Busia and driven over to Nyayo House, which was pure, where one was subjected to pure torture. Underwater, that was very cold, and warm, very hot water, which almost took off your skin. We were not allowed to wear clothes at all. We were fed, we were kept in water, which was also where we slept, and the same water we drank, and also we drank the same water, slept in it, and helped ourselves in the same water.
On the 2nd of July, Matiba and Rubia were arrested. On the 4th of July, yours truly was arrested, and they were taken to detention.
If you looked at Raila, you would see sometimes his eyes would be watering. And I understand that came from being hit in the face with a chair.
Every one of them got out of that vacation experience praising President Moi for his wisdom and his God-given right to be the President of the Republic of Kenya. Mkulima number 1, mwalimu nambari moja.
I am a member of human race, and therefore I support all members of human race, those who believe in peace. Mwingine siasa dogo tu ambayo ya pesa nani, nakimbia kutangatanga barabarani, kuimba ngoma ambayo haijulikani, unaimba ngoma ukiulizwa anasema sijui nasikia.
The 2010 constitutional change in Kenya was fueled by the idea that no other single person in Kenya should be as powerful as Moi was.
I also wish to pay tribute to all those patriotic Kenyans who suffered injuries or lost their lives, freedom, and property in the struggle for the new constitution.
Kenyans believed that the era of torture, abductions, and extrajudicial killings were a thing of the past when they changed the constitution. Well, I have bad news for all of us. The more things change, the more they remain the same.
Kevin Toll, a businessman and blogger in Kahawa West, has been released after he was abducted on Tuesday by police officers on allegations of inciting residents to participate in the Nane Nane protests.
During the Moi era, it was a punishable offense to say anything negative against the person of the president. Does that ring a bell in 2025-2026? The Kenyan government had perfected the use of abductions, torture, and extrajudicial killings to make people cower and not share their thoughts, especially with others through mass media, because anonymity when it comes to print, TV, or radio was a myth. If anyone went to a media house, whether print or electronic, and made anti-government rhetoric, the police will just need to threaten the management, and the media house will sell your identity to the police for a song and dance. The media houses, in the pretext of their editorial policy, could refuse you airtime, and because the media houses had and still continue to be heavily infiltrated by police informants and even undercover agents, you will be taken out even before you stepped into the studio. Media houses have for decades been used as propaganda mouthpieces for the state. Kenyans just need to watch the news to tell which side of the political spectrum the media house falls. The lie of an unbiased reporting died before it was born. It only exists in the imagination of university and college lecturers, most of whom could not hack it in the industry. You know what they say, those who can't, teach. Social media opened up the space by cutting out the gatekeepers of news. It's not just our big belly fat pocket government that has the media houses in their pocket. Governments all over the world also do. People now can go to the social media platform of their choice and speak their mind. Governments everywhere have found a way of putting retards in positions of authority, and all of them have devised a way to punish speech they do not like.
I've been attacked in this house by the master of violence in this house, Mr. Speaker.
Really think the same opinion.
Maybe you would like to impose censorship, mister.
You shut
Censorship.
Up. You shut up.
Shut up. You are talking bullshit. You are talking bullshit, Mr. Nazi lover.
To compare
Mr.
with,
Nazi lover,
with
you
Nazi,
are.
and that's not...
Being that the most unoriginal and uncreative people inevitably find themselves making decisions that affect millions, if not billions of people, decided on the most uncreative and unoriginal name to label that a person saying something they do not like. Hate speech laws are not something new. Remember I told you that during Moi's regime, you will be assisted to meet the afterlife, or at least receive forced mandatory housing in Kamiti, Manyani, Shimo Latewa, and Langata women's hostels, and housing projects among others. In the United Kingdom, Germany, and other European nations, posting anything on social media that makes anyone feel offended also guarantees you a date with the cops.
I explained too much. It's just to give you the context beforehand.
What put hearing to give?
Because I appreciate you've never been arrested before, have you?
Yeah, once or twice.
Once or twice. Apologies.
Frequent flyer.
Apologies, I didn't think you were.
By the way, I think the Kenya police should sell their motto, Tumishi kwa wote, to the KSSA, that is the Koinange Street Sellers Association, because it does not stand true as a motto for the Gestapoic police service we currently have in Kenya. Back to the UK and Europe and their fight to stop people from speaking their mind because someone's feelings were hurt. UK police arrest pro-Palestinian protesters as authorities toughen hate speech laws enforcement. And this is from NBC News. Police in London arrested 2 people who called for intifada during a pro-Palestinian protest, which followed a decision by authorities to toughen enforcement of hate speech laws after the deadly attack on a Hanukkah celebration in Australia. The arrests Wednesday came hours after police in London and Manchester, England, announced a crackdown on protesters using slogans such as "Globalize the Intifada." The Arabic word intifada is generally translated as uprising. So people in London are being arrested for saying, let us globalize the uprising. Jewish leaders say it inflames tensions and encourages attacks on Jews, including the attack that killed 15 people on Sunday at Bondi Beach in Sydney. Well, if the Jews do not want people attacking and killing them, maybe they should stop killing people in Gaza. I don't know, maybe anyone with 2 working brain cells could put 2 and 2 together and say, hey, look, we are killing people in Gaza and people are killing us. So they either call it a draw or say, hey, why don't we do this? Why don't we stop killing people in Gaza? and see if people around the world can stop. So yes, what happened in Australia was tragic. And when we say that something is tragic and people should not die, that includes everyone, from the small heart people to the big towel head people. Everyone. I think that's fair. Enough of that news. Moving on. Let's go to Germany. This is from CBS News. Germany is prosecuting online trolls. Here's how the country is fighting hate speech on the internet. And to think that these are the guys who thought they could take over the world. Dozens of police teams across Germany raided homes before dawn in coordinated crackdown on a recent Tuesday. The state police weren't looking for drugs or guns. They were looking for people suspected of posting hate speech online. Germany went in less than 100 years from this nation, which was threatening the world, like one nation wanted to take over the world, to a nation where they are arresting people for posting naughty words on the internet. I mean, the comedy just writes itself. Online speech laws need to be reviewed after Leinhan arrest says treating. Forgive me if I said your name wrong, but if you wanted me to say your name right, you'd have called yourself Omondi or Kamau or an easier name. The health secretary said that such laws had put more expectation on police and diluted the focus and priorities of the public, adding that obviously it's something we need to look at. No, it's not. Let's see what Forbes has to say. People are being thrown in UK prisons over what they have said online. Can free speech be saved? No, the fact not, it cannot. You know why? When you let politicians decide that something is hate speech, you've given them the power to control your speech. If a politician is doing something fucked up, and you say, hey, that's a fucked up thing you've done, if they get insulted, they can take you to court and you can go to jail by you pointing out that they've done a fucked up thing. Remember what Brigitte did? I am dramatizing this. Hey, you are a dude. And then he or she was like, oh, that's very offensive. I feel insulted. Go to jail. She did not say, hey, look, I'm not a dude. I'm a woman. And here is the proof that I am a woman. And now that is defamation. And there are defamation laws. But no, whatever, is it the first lady or the first gentleman felt offended and insulted by somebody says, hey, were you born with a bitch or are you born with a pussy? Let us look at how Kenya's, in its bid to show its masters that it is a good boy, is working hard to outdo Europe in suppressing speech. This one was posted a while ago. Let's see if it has a date. Yeah, 2025. This was on February. Wanted. And big fat dude here. Mr. Francis Nganga Gaido, whose photograph is displayed below, is wanted by the Directorate of Criminal Investigations DCI for various criminal activities. The suspect has been charged with the offense of publishing false information in violation of Section 23 of the Computer Misuse and Cyber Crimes Act. This one. He is also under investigation for sharing personal information of a senior public officer and publishing false information contrary to Section 23 of the Computer Misuse and Cyber Crimes Act against other Kenyan citizens. Additionally, the suspect will face multiple counts of cyber harassment for a post in which he disparaged senior government officials. The above files are pending perusal and advice by the ODPP. Another one from the DCI. This one is on their Facebook. Suspect arraigned for publishing false information. Detectives have arraigned Harrison Nyende Mumia before the Milimani Law Courts on charges of publishing false information contrary to Section 22(1) of the Computer Misuse and Cyber Crimes Act, number 5 of 2018. On December 30, 2025, the suspect, who is the president of the Atheist Society of Kenya, while using his pseudo Facebook account under the name Robinson Kipruto Ngetich, knowingly published false information against state leadership.
Shit, Negro, that's all you had to say.
So now you can't say shit about the government, right? Because they have the Computer Misuse and Cyber Crimes Act. Kenyans and concerned human rights organizations have spoken against such speech laws as they are ambiguous and are often used to punish political opponents and people who are quote-unquote spreading anti-government rhetoric. Joint statement by the ICT sector on the unlawful arrest and prosecution of Rose Njeri. This was on 4th June 2025. We, the The undersigned stakeholders in Kenya information and communications technology sector stand together in firm condemnation of the unlawful arrest, detention, and prosecution of software developer and civic activist Rose Njeri. Rose Njeri, a software developer and mother of two, was detained on Friday, May 30th, 2025, following a police raid on her home in Nairobi, where authorities seized her electronic devices including her phone, laptop, and hard drives. As of this morning, she remained detained. Her whereabouts were unknown, and she had not been presented to any court despite multiple attempts by her legal counsel to establish the charges against her or secure her release. Reports indicate that Ms. Njeri suffers from anemia and was denied proper access to healthcare during her detention. In addition, her arrest and detention over a long public holiday weekend appear to have been deliberately calculated to extend her detention without judicial oversight. It is alleged that Ms. Njeri's arrest stems from her development of an online civic platform, which seeks to provide a coordinated solution for Kenyan citizens to formally present views to the National Assembly. In response to the ongoing public participation discussion on the Finance Bill 2025, in particular, the platform enables them to simply register the objections to Clause 52 of the bill, which proposes the deletion of Section 59A(1)(b) of the Tax Procedures Act, which currently prohibits the Commission of the Kenyan Revenue Authority from requiring a person to integrate or share data relating to A, trade secrets, and B, private or personal data held on behalf of customers or collected in the course of business. BEC condemns the arrest and intimidations of Kenyans online. We, the Bloggers Association of Kenya, that's BEC, take great exception to the increasing cases of intimidation through arrests and prosecution of Kenyans online. Even with all the government overreach, we have internationally funded NGOs and international NGOs who are calling for more censorship. Amnesty International has always branded itself as an organization that protects human rights. Let us look at what their website says they do. We uncover the truth and hold the powerful to account. So who is Amnesty International? Amnesty International is a global movement of more than 10 million people who are committed to creating a future where human rights are enjoyed by everyone. Do not be lied to. Amnesty International is part of a global cabal that has been pushing for a limitation of free expression. This is what they posted on June 6, 2024. Expand NCIC's mandate to tackle all forms of hate speech. We already see what governments do with hate speech laws. We see them arresting bloggers. We see them arresting activists. Well, Amnesty, I believe you work with activists, right? Keep pushing. Keep pushing. And then right back you turn and start telling Kenyans we need to go to the streets because the government is arresting our people. And they are using the same law you've been telling Kenyans to support. I believe this is a game. There is this cabal which is government, media, NGOs, the intelligentsia. These are the academics. They have formed a cabal that is supposed to keep us dumbed down and to herd us to where they want us to go. Anyway, the Ruto regime is not satisfied with the power to suppress free expression of ideas. It has shown that it will stop at nothing to ensure Kenyans do not have freedom anywhere. And this is from Kenyan Human Rights Commission, published 5th January 2026. Ruto's Digital Intelligence Unit will increase mass surveillance and abuses. This nefarious proposal comes in the midst of the deepening political and digital repression in the country and the region. The regime's abuse of digital surveillance and policing was at its worst during the Gen Z protest. Many were tracked, captured, and subjected to unprecedented atrocities. The Kenya Human Rights Commission expresses profound concern over the regime's proposal to establish a digital intelligence unit to monitor online activity as contained in the annual report on the State of National Security 2024-2025, tabled in Parliament by Mr. William Ruto. Consequently, the proposed Digital Intelligence Unit, as presently conceived, raises grave governance and justice concerns about the standardizations of mass digital surveillance and the erosion of fundamental rights, particularly at the political sensitive moment as the country approaches the 2027 general elections. Look, with this level of surveillance, it is a wonder Ruto's government has not mandated CCTV in our bedrooms to see whether we do the missionary or the doggy. Thank you for being with me through the entire video. I want to remind you to like the video, share the video, and subscribe if you have not subscribed. I will see you in the next one.